First at noon, we're following breaking news that conservative political activist Charlie Kirk has died after being shot at an event at a Utah college. Tarian Small is tracking the details from the White House, where the president got word of the violence.
It happened in broad daylight at an event at Utah Valley University. As Charlie Kirk addressed the crowd, a shot was fired.
All of a sudden, I hear up top, I just saw him grab, it looked like his neck, and there's just blood pouring out everywhere, and his eyes kind of rolled back.
Kirk was rushed from the premises to the hospital. Kirk, a rising star in conservative politics and a fierce ally of President Trump. He is a co-founder of Turning Point USA, which advocates for conservative politics on university campuses. Well known to CBS News Chief Washington analyst Bob Costa.
I have covered Charlie Kirk for a long time, have spoken to him at so many political events over the years. This is someone who has galvanized conservatives across the country. He is seen as someone who was really able to gather the Trump movement, especially those under 30, and make them into a force.
President Trump posted, "We must all pray for Charlie Kirk," calling him a great guy from top to bottom. Torian Small, CBS News, Washington.
We're also following breaking news out of Colorado. At least 2 students were wounded in a shooting at a high school in the Denver metro area today. Details are still coming in, but according to the sheriff's office, the shooting took place just after noon at Evergreen High School. Officers confirmed that at least 2 students were shot. The nearby hospital said there are 3 students there in critical condition. It's still a very active scene. Here at home, city leaders and promoters of this Saturday's Fiji Tribute Concert in Waikiki just wrapped up a press conference detailing how they plan to handle an expected crowd of 30,000 people. First, they say parking at the Shell and around Kapiolani Park will be pretty much non-existent, and there will be road closures all around the park. HPD says there will be 25 shuttles running between the Blaisdell Center and the Shell from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. and from 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. There will also be shuttle service from Kapiolani Community College. Now, concert goers are also encouraged to take the bus, ride share, walk, or even bike.
Our doors are going to open at 4 p.m. Music and sound. The event starts at 5 p.m. and the performances will start at 5:30 p.m. We will end promptly at 9:45 p.m.
Now, Kapiolani Park is an open space that presents unique challenges for safety and security. Consequently, we'll have a strong police presence throughout the event, doing everything we can to maintain a safe and secure environment for all.
We're making sure that the barricades are set up with sufficient entrances and exits to be safe for the people that are there. There will be vendors outside the barricades, and then we're working with the promoters to make sure that we have a sufficient number of porta potties, dumpsters for garbage, garbage cans.
Now, Kapiolani Park will be open at noon for people with tickets. You can bring your own chairs and food, but there is no alcohol, vaping, smoking, or illegal drones allowed. If you want to watch the concert but want to avoid the madness, Hawaii News Now plans to live stream the event. Stay tuned for more details on how to tune in. A Hawaii inmate serving life behind bars has died following a fight inside a New Mexico prison. Anibal Ortiz was convicted of shooting and killing a fellow homeless man at Alawai Park back in 2002. New Mexico media outlets say the 48-year-old died last Tuesday after an altercation with multiple inmates, 3 of which also suffered injuries. New Mexico State Police are now investigating. Now to a Hawaii County police officer who's under investigation for the death of a police canine. Derek Kravitsky has the latest information on the case.
This is my partner, Archer.
Because she hasn't been charged with a crime, we are not identifying the officer who allegedly left Archer, a 6.5-year-old drug-sniffing canine, in a sweltering squad car in Kona last week. But now that officer is on regular patrol after her 5-year rotation in the canine unit came to an end. This video is from a police promotion last year.
The reason why I joined the department, because honestly, I never had a good childhood. That's partially the reason, and also because I just like to serve people. The thing I like most about being a police officer is obviously being a narcotic canine handler and seeing the cool things that these dogs can do.
Hawaii PD says from training to patrol, canines and their handlers become nearly inseparable, spending almost all hours on duty together.
Our officers go through an extensive training period. During that time, they receive canine care, narcotics recognition, and how the dog operates under the handler's care.
Police have not released any details on why Archer was left in the car or for how long, but say criminal and administrative investigations are underway.
I'm really passionate about this topic because it's completely preventable.
Veterinarian Sarah Federschmidt says because dogs overheat faster than humans, they should never be left in a vehicle without air conditioning.
Especially here in Hawaii, where the outside temperature is generally pretty warm and it's generally pretty hot and sunny. The inside of a car can go from a normal temperature to over 100 in a matter of 90 seconds.
Police advise anyone who sees an animal in distress or a dangerous situation to call 911. Derek Kravitsky, Hawaii News Now.
Alaska Air Group today announced that Diana Burkett-Rakow will become CEO of Hawaiian Airlines on October 29th. She currently serves as Alaska Airlines' Senior Vice President of Public Affairs and Sustainability. She is succeeding Joe Sprague, who will retire after a long career at Alaska, Horizon Air, and Hawaiian Airlines. She will be based in Honolulu, the company's second largest hub after Seattle.
And happy Wednesday, everybody. Of course, we've been watching what was Tropical Storm Kiko over the last week or so. It has now fallen apart. It is considered a post-tropical cyclone out there. We're picking up a lot of lightning in the convection that's still off well to the north of Kauai over this around this afternoon. But we're seeing a few showers. You can actually see a very interesting pattern on the radar. You're starting to see those Kona winds pushing in some showers towards the center of the circulation, towards the north out there, and a few showers actually moving in towards the south of Kauai, and a few along the Ko'olau over the last hour or so. The main impact outside of that has been the large surf and the light winds. Our surf and shoreline forecast no longer seeing surf alerts out there from the National Weather Service. This afternoon, surf is on the decline. I'll give you a full breakdown coming up.
Thank you, Drew. And even though Kiko missed us, the storm is still keeping first responders busy. Ocean safety lifeguards have dedicated extra resources to address the high surf. Casey Lund went to check out the conditions and see how things are shaping up.
Aloha from Makapu'u. This is one of my favorite beaches, but it can be a real danger, especially when we have a system like Hurricane Kiko that this morning we reported turned into a remnant low. Still brought a lot of changes to the surf, and we want to talk a little bit about that. Yesterday, our crews went up to Kailua Beach and took a quick look at the conditions there, where they saw head height faces for some of those surfers that were experienced. It was an awesome time. Ocean safety, though, they were busy. By 6 p.m. yesterday, they had already made 30 rescues at places like Makapu'u, where I am now, Kailua Beach, where you're seeing this video, and Sandy's, of course, another really dangerous beach. And so if you were inexperienced, didn't know what you were doing, you were asked to stay out of the water. But some of those folks that are experienced watermen, they had a good time.
So much fun. So much fun. It's been a long time since we had an east swell like this. And yeah, I was looking forward to it. And it checked it out at 6:50 this morning, and it was barely even breaking. And right when I came around, I think I got down here around 9:30. I just saw it, and it's like it's time to go out.
We also checked in with another experienced waterman, Uncle Ricky, who you see here. He made a good point that any system can bring in great surf, but they also bring in hazards, and one of them is something that a lot of people might not think about, especially if you're not from Hawaii.
When we have this kind of storms, usually there's going to be a lot of rubbish, and that's what my concern earlier. When I took my break, I was picking up rubbish on the beach, and most likely in the first thing in the morning is going to be a lot of rubbish. So that's, this type of storms bring in a lot of the opala. But at the same time too, this is fun for the tourists. The tourists are really excited. You can see them all smiling and having fun. And like I said, we all watch each other. So, it shouldn't be any problems.
So for the remainder of the day, things are going to be winding down. You're not going to see those dangerous conditions. Those still on east-facing shores, you want to be careful. Make sure you check in with ocean safety lifeguards before you go out in the water. Reporting on East Oahu, I'm Casey Lund for Hawaii News Now.
Thank you, Case. To international news, Russia launched a series of drones over Polish airspace, Russia's most serious incursion of another country since it launched the war in Ukraine. Now, Poland is a part of NATO, which means other NATO members, including the U.S., are obligated to help defend the country. Bradley Blackburn has more details.
Polish police taped off the site where they were inspecting a Russian drone. Overnight, NATO quickly scrambled fighter jets to shoot down multiple drones over Poland's airspace. No one was hurt, but a house was severely damaged.
Allies are resolved to defend every inch of Allied territory. We will closely monitor the situation along our eastern flank, our air defenses continually at the ready.
Poland's Prime Minister Donald Tusk said words alone aren't enough. He invoked Article 4 of the NATO Pact, which says allies will consult each other whenever the territorial integrity of one member is threatened.
We see what Putin is doing. Yet again, he is testing us. Yet again, we will stand firm.
President Trump responded on social media saying, "What's with Russia violating Poland's airspace with drones? Here we go."
Putin is interested not just in Ukraine, he's interested in retaking what is the old Soviet Union. He wants to go after Moldova, he wants to go after Poland.
Senators say they want to move forward with a sanctions package, which they have been sitting on.
At some point, I think we have to punch back, and I think that point's now.
Trump reiterated an American pledge to help Poland defend itself during a meeting with the Polish president last week. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News.
Ahead on This Is Now, 3 months after a near-death crash, surfer Dakota Briley shows signs of recovery. Plus this.
The White House focuses on child health. I'm Jared Hill with the proposals gaining praise and criticism, plus what the White House says President Trump is willing to do regarding the Epstein files.
Welcome back. Dakota Briley is speaking and moving again nearly 3 months after he was struck by a driver who veered off the road on Oahu's North Shore. Dylan Ancheta spoke to his family, who has a message for the driver.
Thank y'all for supporting me. Really appreciate it.
Dakota Briley, who spent nearly 2 months in the ICU at the Queens Medical Center on Oahu, is making great progress in his recovery. About a month ago, he arrived at the Craig Hospital for rehabilitation in Denver, Colorado.
Since we've been here, he's been able to communicate and he's found his voice. He's got his voice back and eating solid food, so he's been able to start putting weight on. He gained about 10 pounds.
The latest breakthrough, Dakota has regained movement in his left arm and hand.
Hi guys, miss all of you, love you all. I'm doing great.
His family says when Dakota emerged from a coma, his long-term memory was fine, but he didn't remember much of the months leading up to the accident.
It's been very difficult at times, but when you're dealing with traumatic brain injury, and Dakota has both spinal cord injury as well, plus there's multiple fractures throughout all of his body.
We have a very, very long road, and everything from, modifying our home for it to be accessible to him, to getting proper, a good wheelchair down the road for him. Like, all of these things add up.
To cover the thousands of dollars in mounting medical costs, Dakota's family launched a silent auction fundraiser, which will be live until September 15th.
And we have almost 300 items, autographed floors from Kelly Slater to John Florence. We have jewelry, we have hotels, we have just a whole array of incredible items.
While Dakota makes progress in his recovery, the family asks for continued prayers, saying they believe it's the power of prayer that kept Dakota alive. And for the driver responsible, Sean shared kind words.
As far as me and my family are concerned, we've totally forgiven the kid who did this and his family, and just wanted to show them as much grace and love, and let them know that we forgive them. We hold nothing against anybody, and accidents do happen.
Dylan Ancheta, Hawaii News Now.
The Trump administration released a new report they say is focused on improving the health of the nation's children. The president also weighed in on the latest release of the Epstein documents. Jared Hill has more.
In a new focus on American children.
Your mission is to make America healthy again.
Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. unveiled the administration's strategy to improve health outcomes.
We are focusing narrowly on nutrition and metabolic health, food quality, cumulative exposures, gut microbiome, precision agriculture, and mental health.
Some elements of the Make Our Children Healthy Again report target ultra-processed food, microplastics, exposure to chemicals, and increasing physical activity.
These are bipartisan reforms. Many of them would be unthinkable 2 years ago.
But the report also calls for more rigorous government investigations into ideas some medical experts have labeled conspiracy theories, from the harms of fluoride to vaccine injuries. Secretary Kennedy himself, a vaccine skeptic. Meanwhile, the White House worked to distance President Trump from the latest release of Epstein files, including the 50th birthday message Trump allegedly wrote to Epstein in 2003.
It's not my signature, and it's not the way I speak. And anybody that's covered me for a long time knows that's not my language.
The White House press secretary said the president is open to having a handwriting analyst look at the letter, and accused Democrats of pushing the story for political gain.
The Democrats view this story as nothing more than an attempt to distract from the accomplishments and the achievements of this administration.
It was the Republican-led House Oversight Committee that subpoenaed the documents from the estate of the late convicted sex offender. Jared Hill, CBS News.
And stick around. Coming up after the break, I'll give you a look at our first alert radar and satellite. We've got a few showers out there. The details coming up.
First Alert weather with Drew Davis.
All right, well, happy Wednesday, everybody. Post-tropical cyclone Kiko, is well to the north of the island chain. I do want to take a look at the First Alert radar and satellites, showing you what's going on out there. We've got a few sprinkles out over the Ko'olau this afternoon. Again, we're going to continue to see showers throughout today as some deep tropical moisture associated with Kiko is going to be moving across the island chain. Just moving down to Maui County, you're seeing a few showers out there over near Hana, but overall relatively dry compared to what we're seeing along the Ko'olau on Oahu. Hawaii Island's been relatively quiet, but you'll notice a little bit more cloud cover over there. And then Kauai, we have been seeing these showers moving in from the south. Since Kiko is well to the north of Kauai right now, we are seeing some rainfall moving in towards the center of the circulation and one lightning strike just offshore right there. Our surf and shoreline forecast, again, the main concern with this system has been the large surf out there. But we no longer have surf alerts up from the National Weather Service. Northwest, south, and east-facing shores are all on the decline for your Wednesday afternoon. East-facing shores around 4 to 6 and 3 to 5 across all other facing shores. Outside of that, we are tracking another potential tropical cyclone out in the eastern Pacific Ocean. It's got a 90% chance of development over the next 7 days and a 50% chance over the next 48 hours. We're expecting this system to spin up and then likely fall apart in the cooler waters of the eastern Pacific. No concern out there, but it's just a reminder that we're in the middle of hurricane season. Overall, we've got easterly flow, a little bit more variable winds over near the western half of the state. And we are seeing actually Kona winds closer to the western half of the state, which of course is the closest part to Kiko. Our first alert windcast going forward throughout Thursday afternoon, you're going to start to see trade winds build back in ever so slightly, around 10 to 15 miles per hour. And very similar as we're going into Friday afternoon, a little bit more breezy over near Maui County between 10 to 15 miles per hour, potentially closer to 20 miles per hour over in Kahului. Our first alert futurecast going forward, you'll notice not much rainfall in the forecast. A few showers possible out there for Thursday afternoon. Of course, that deep tropical moisture and the humidity still associated with Kiko out there could bring us some showers throughout Thursday and Friday. More typical trade wind pattern is expected by the time we go into this weekend. Our island by island forecast will just run down to Oahu right there. 89 in town. We are expecting a few showers out there. Our first alert 7-day forecast, we still have today highlighted in red because of Kiko well to the north. Trades return this weekend.
Thank you, Drew. Still to come, meet a fitness instructor who has become an inspiration for her clients, both young and old. This story coming up in today's Good News Now.
Virginia Miller is turning 94 years
right.
old, but don't let her age fool you. She may be in better shape than most of us.
Kirk Tupa introduces us to this special balance and wellness instructor.
Take a breath. 94-year-old Virginia Miller is a balance and wellness instructor. She's been teaching a class for those 50 years old and up for about 10 years now. Virginia graduated from Syracuse University with a health major and taught health at a high school for 29 years. So it's no surprise she practices what she preaches.
We need to exercise, eat right, sleep, control stress. Those are the things that keep you from aging.
Christine Feeder started attending these classes in 2013 after an accident left her down and out.
I was in a lot of pain. So I started coming to the class and the pain started going away.
Some of the women in this class are over 70 and a few are close to Virginia's age. The class is geared to help overcome balance problems, lessen pain like that of arthritis, and even help recovering cancer patients.
Virginia will tell you, just do what you can do. You know, don't overdo it. If you want to use just one weight instead of two, just do that.
Virginia may be getting up there in age, but she's still sharp as a tack and keeps herself educated on the latest in health discoveries.
Lifting weights preserves your brain from aging. It stops the aging process or at least slows it down. And this is very new information.
Those attending the class say it's become a family-like atmosphere and would encourage anyone 50 or older to get on your feet and take a class.
As you get older, you need stimulation. You know, you can't sit home all day and be a couch potato. You have to get up and you have to get out of the house.
The class lasts for about an hour every Tuesday morning, and Virginia expects to teach the class as long as she can.
As long as my body will allow me, and I expect to do it until the day I die.
Happy birthday to you. Well, clearly, whatever she's doing is working.
Yeah, absolutely.
She looks great.
Yeah, she really does. For 94,
Yeah.
It is working.
Do you work out enough?
Not as much as I should, actually. I'm going to go to the gym right after work today.
That's right. Get a walking pad at your desk. All right, everyone. Thanks for watching. This is Now. More news at 4 right here on KHNL.